All right, family, thanks for joining another episode of Black Gay Table Talk. I'm your host, Keenan, and for today's episode, we have the treat of welcoming LJ Ugarte. LJ is an award-winning filmmaker. He is a songwriter, singer. He's done a lot in the entertainment industry, not to mention the fact that he brought us Firecreek Entertainment. LJ, how are you?
I'm fantastic, and you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for joining us. I know life is busy, so I have to start out by saying thank you.
No, thank you for having me. I'm a
Of
fan.
course.
I am a fan.
Really?
I've been keeping up with you guys. Oh yeah, oh
Yay.
yeah. Get the best content in YouTube. So I've seen. Yeah.
That's cool. That is cool. And you've brought some stuff too. I want to ask you a few questions later on about Into the Looking Glass and another one. So, yes, we'll get to it.
Oh, I got some tea about Into the Looking Glass. I think you are you ready for
I'm ready. We are ready.
that?
Okay. So, starting out, who is LJ? Tell us who you are and what's your background.
Well, I am. Name is Louis John Ugarte. That's where LJ comes from. Originally born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And I pretty much was captivated from performing at an early age. I must have been like maybe six.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that right there fueled it. Watching Emmanuel Lewis and Webster on TV and watching Different Strokes and all these shows growing up. And then as I got older, my sister took me to Radio City Music Hall and I saw a production of Wizard of Oz live, seeing those
Yeah.
shows live. And then think I was haunted of the sound of the applause. And at an early age, 9 at that point,
Mhm.
looking around and looking at their faces, and they were so happy, like happy to see these performers. And I was like, I
Yeah.
want to see how that lady right there is so happy. I want to make people like that happy. That's
Yeah.
where it originated from.
Wow.
And I'm
Wow.
pretty much behind that. I'm just a simple guy. I love doing simple things, being home in pajamas, messy hair, and don't care. You know, watching TV and just being under the blanket like this, watching some old
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger movies or something. That's who I
Oh,
am.
I love it. I'm a Freddie fan too.
Oh, nice.
Always. Always.
Mr. Robert is a wonderful guy. The actual
Yeah.
guy who played Freddy's, he's a dear.
Yes. So, what are your favorite types of movies to watch?
I like classics. I like a lot of old classics, like the Joan Crawford movies and the old Betty Davis movies, and I like Gone with the Wind, and I like The Book. As you can see in my background, those are Blu-ray DVDs, 5,000 plus DVDs.
I
It's a,
love it.
it's addiction. Um, I love biographies. I love dramas, biopics.
Hmm.
Those are the type of movies that I like.
Got it. Got it. So, Fire Creek Entertainment.
Mhm.
I know it's 18 years old now. So,
Yes, it is. It is.
kudos to you. I
Thank you.
mean, you founded it in '06. So what
Yeah,
pushed you to
yeah.
go ahead and start, or what's the journey?
Fire Creek Entertainment, I could say how it started. My baby started with nothing more than a black suitcase, this beautiful black suitcase. All it had was a broken down light that I bought at the Salvation Army. It had a slate, the one of the movie slates that I bought at Universal Studios as a souvenir,
Uh-huh.
dollar store makeup, and maybe a steamer in there. And that was what I used to call Fire Creek Entertainment.
I
And
love it.
I used to carry this suitcase everywhere I go to auditions to try to find jobs, and I didn't even have a car then. I didn't own properties then. Carry it everywhere I go, literally walking the streets with this suitcase looking for a job. And then one day, I got an audition for an independent film. I brought that suitcase with me. And I remember walking maybe 2 miles we have a commuter rail in South Florida here called Trial Rail.
Hmm.
And this is before, big time. I was walking to catch this train and I
Yeah.
was running a little late, but I was determined to get to Miami from West Palm Beach to Miami on the commuter rail.
Hmm.
I felt like the forces were holding me back. Like it didn't want me to go to the audition. I remember praying to God, I'm like, God, just give me this one. Just give me this one. Just open
Mhm.
up the path for me to get there safely. Just open it, please. And I remember, oh, it's like straight out of a movie. The wheel got stuck on the railroad track.
Oh wow.
And I'm pulling it. And I'm like, God, please don't do this to me now. I just want to go to the audition and let me just give them what I got so I can just go home. They're going to tell me no anyway. So let me go. And I remember instantly the thing, it was just like, I'm like, oh my God, what if a train comes? I'm like, I can't leave my Fire Creek
Right.
suitcase. I remember yanking the suitcase and the wheel broke off and I fell and slipped, fell and I sliced my knee. And then at that instant moment, it started to rain. And I was like, this has got to be a sign. Should I go home and be like, but I can't. I came this far. Me and my
Right.
beat up suitcase holding this, I made it to the train, wiped my tears, got myself together because the commuter rail had a bathroom. And I remember going like this and I started praying, like, just let me get this. Let me just go. Let me just make it to Miami safely. If this is a sign that I don't need to be there, just,
Yeah.
whatever. Got to Miami, did the audition. I nailed it. I got the job.
That's
So
why I'm sitting here smiling. It's always like that when something fantastic is about to happen. So I'm sorry.
and then at that moment I knew that I served a purpose, and then I was like, you know what, I didn't know business at that time, so I was like, you know what, I told the director, because I'm like, I'm a production company. I didn't have it then. I didn't have a license, the trademarks, the corporate, the warehouse, the whole shebang a production company
Right.
has. I just told them, and they allowed me to contribute to the production, and I earned my first credit as a producer at that time. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
literally was showing them my Suki. Look, I have this. I remember. I was like, I have this.
I love
And
that.
now moving forward, Fire Creek is an Emmy Award winning production company. Mind you, it's a multi award winning production company. We have a warehouse, storage. We have a production van. We have, little things like production. I
Right,
have
right.
the lights galore, honey. It was like we got lights to make you look young. 18 years ago, I couldn't even afford to catch a train, you know what I mean? And I
Yes.
remember earning it, paying for it, working my ass off to get there. And I still, to this very day, if I feel that I have any type of ego, I tell you what, I'm gonna show you this scar. I'm gonna lift my leg up for you. This little scar right here is a constant
I see
reminder to
it.
stay humbled. Because every time I
Wow.
feel like I'm feeling myself, I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling myself today. That knee starts to throb. And that's like God's way of telling you better humble yourself, boy. Because remember that
Humble
train ride
yourself.
you almost missed? That beat up suitcase?
Wow.
That's what Fire Creek is. And to this very day, I have that suitcase proudly on display in my office.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, we can end the interview now. You just spoke to everybody. Like,
That beautiful
I
black
love it. How
suitcase, dusty as it
inspirational.
was then, I still
And
have it.
you know what? Faith the size of a mustard seed. Like looking back over your journey, now you have all those things that you were thinking would hold you back in that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
But I'm a believer that when it's time,
Yeah.
people will be positioned where they need to be positioned to help
Yes.
you get to that next step,
Yeah.
regardless of what you have coming into it. All you have to do is show up, you know? How
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah, and that's what Fire Creek is. And the whole premise of me starting Fire Creek legitimately was to give the underdog the benefit of the doubt. Because there's lots of there's little there's up and comers that are
Mm-hmm.
not giving an opportunity to be great. You know what I mean? It's always corporate.
True.
That's what Fire Creek Entertainment is. I've worked with actors that are on these hot shows, Chicago Fire. I'm watching, I feel like these are like my kids. I've seen them work with us and now they're grown and they pay
Yeah.
honor to us and be like, Fire Creek Entertainment gave us letters of recommendation. Now I'm on NBC. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
I think I'm still that guy. I will always be that guy with a black suitcase walking, trying to catch a train. I'm still him. I will always be him. And, and hopefully I'm going to continue to grow the company because I would like to buy land and build my own Tyler Perry-esque studio, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And,
I love it.
you know,
I'm not gonna get emotional. Okay.
Yeah, I try not to because I when I tell that story, it's just the journey was not easy. You know what I mean? Getting rained
Yeah.
on, almost getting run over by a train, and
Yeah.
people says you are a survivor. I'm like, yeah, I survived many obstacles, even abuse. I'm an abuse survivor. So,
Mm.
but I'm not a victim. Never was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do you feel that those experiences have shaped how you make decisions regarding your business?
Um, when it comes to making my business decision, I approach everything with an open heart. And I also approach it um, having communication, listen to people's point of views and people's perspective of things, and
Mm-hmm.
find a common ground. And that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I've learned over the years. Communication is key, having mutual respect for your fellow human being,
Mm-hmm.
and always know that you're not always going to agree on things. You can always agree to disagree, but just make sure that you stay right here because it can't
Mm-hmm.
always, like a relationship, a marriage. Everybody say, oh, it should always be 50-50. No, that's not true. It should
Come
be
on now.
50-40. I might not have it today, but oh, my hubby might have it today.
Yeah.
It's going to be like this. But guess what? At the end of the day, we're always going to be here. And
Yes.
regardless if you're here or if you're down here, guess what? It's going to be here at the end of the day. That's how I approach business with
I,
my company and merging with other companies because that's what we do. We merge with other corporations, and we do it with
mm-hmm.
an open heart.
I got it. I love that. I don't want to ask you what your most successful project was, but well, first let me ask you, what was it
Oh,
like when
please.
you realized you learned or you realized you earned the Emmy?
I didn't even know I won it. I didn't even know half the awards that I received. There, half, half the awards that I've received, I didn't even realize. I didn't even know I won them. Because I know first of all I was doing COVID, so there was no fanfare. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that any of my films were even gaining recognition, and it happened during COVID. Because
Mm-hmm.
people started saying, "I didn't know that you produce films." I'm like, I've been doing it 25 years. Wow, it
Yeah.
took COVID for people to realize I was an actor. um, it and I don't think I still realize it. I think that's why it's so hard for me to answer. But I guess you could say maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
when people realize that, wow, you've been doing this, I'm like, I've been working behind the scenes.
It shows that even now you're still processing and it might still be kind of surreal for you. So,
It is every job that I take on is as if I never worked before. Every new job that
mm,
I received as an
mhm,
individual, I always approach it as I never worked before because I always have that fear I might get fired. I don't want to get fired. I just signed a contract to do another movie. I'm like, what do I do?
right.
It's like I've never done this before, but I've done it a million times.
Aw, I
So
can tell you were meant to do this. I see how your eyes light up when you talk
uh,
about work, and I love
it
that.
it
You're,
saved me.
you're,
It saved my
mhm,
life. It really did. It saved my life, and I was able to parlay it to saving others. Because this has never been about me. Never. This whole with Fire Creek was never about me. When I do comedies and whatever is my work is not about me. If I can
mhm,
make you laugh and I could put a smile in your face, it could be just one person. I did my job, and I could. I'm okay with that
mhm,
because I don't chase clout. I've never been a clout chaser.
mhm,
Um, I've never been a compliment, a person that has to receive compliments to move forward. I've never been that guy. I take everything with a grain of salt, and I'm very humbled and grateful for whatever opportunities I get. It could be anything. I'm
mhm.
appreciative of that, and will always be appreciative there. I'm breathing. I'm here. I'm surrounded by
Yeah,
positivity, and I'm okay with that.
yes. And think about all the people you're able to help along your journey.
That's the whole
Amazing.
plan. Yeah, the whole plan.
Yeah. So, okay, your most successful project.
It was the Gornos, and I'm going to tell you why. The
Gordo.
Gornos, to me, was high rank, high budget. It was shot on location in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That was one of my very first jobs that I got to fly out. They flew me out and put me up in by Carnegie Mellon University,
Hmm.
and I got to work with actors, producer. The biggest highlight for me was, of course, we mentioned Freddy Krueger. I admire those films as a little boy. 20 years later, I'm one of the head producers of the Gordo starring Ken Sagoes from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wow.
And he's
Wow.
in it. And we're friends now. He's a dear friend of mine. He's the one that helped me get that job. Because he go, LJ, I'm finna introduce you to my nephew. He producing a movie called The Gornos. He's a black guy from Freddy Krueger. He go, and I think you got great potential. And I'm looking like, uh-huh, yeah, whatever. You're an imposter. I don't believe it's you. When we FaceTime, I'm like, oh my God, you're that guy from Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4, you know? And he helped me get that job, and he saw something in me, I guess, that I didn't see in me. And the rest is history. I got to work with my idols, and I got to go to the premiere in Hollywood, go to in Los Angeles. Walking into Raleigh, Raleigh Studios is right across from Paramount Studios. I remember, I'm like, I got this. I'm walking into this big movie studio. It's Hollywood, all the idols of the old golden age of Hollywood. And in my mind, I think it started getting to me because I saw the Soundstage 6 where they filmed like these movies that I watched over. They
Yes.
filmed this movie here. And then when I saw Loretta Devine walking into my screening, and I saw Lisa Wilcox, and I saw these people that I've watched. I forgot her name. She was on Friday. Hey girl, how you doing? Fine. You know that actress.
Yes.
She
Yes.
walked in, or Ken Sagoes' friends. It hit me. I went behind a trailer. They had dozens of production trailers. I needed to
Mhm.
find a place to be alone. And I found the littlest corner between two trailers, and I hid right there because I was frightened, and I burst into tears
Oh.
because I was afraid. And then I burst into tears, and I'm like this. And instantly, this lady opens up the trailer and goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, oh, I can't even have a moment to cry by myself. And the lady was
Right.
like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I'm LJ, and my movie is, that movie, The Gornos, is right there. And she was, "Wow, congratulations." I'm like, "Thanks." Then I called my mother. My mom was still alive at the time. Call my mom. I go, "I don't know what to do, mommy. I'm scared, and you're not here, and I'm in Los Angeles, and da da da." She goes, "Okay, take two deep breaths and remember who you are. Go in there and you worked hard. Now go in there, smile, take a picture, watch a movie in the theater." I was like, I can't. I was scared to death. I was frightened,
Oh.
and then I walked into the cinema. I turned, and I was like, it's time to be him. So I went from
Hmm.
little Louis. I went from little Louis, the 10-year-old, to all of a sudden LJ Ugarte, the actor, producer
Wow.
of the Gornos. I think of that, and I still get choked up thinking about it because I'm still that guy that would huddle behind anything to find a little corner somewhere just so I could have that moment to remember
Yeah.
me, to remember that boy. I got to remember
Yeah.
Louis, and that's one of my biggest successes. That one.
Wow. Wow.
Oh yeah, I was shaking. Then once I got in that red carpet, it was like, "Hey, Mr. Vine, nice to meet you. I loved you in Dreamgirls." It's like, holy shit.
You you had to tap in and let that other entity take over in that
I
moment
sure
almost.
did. Oh, I'm telling you that.
I love it.
That was one of them. Yeah.
So how do you approach your creative process? Do you have like this ritual, or I guess ritual is an okay word, that you
Um,
go through, or what do you do?
to prepare for like a picture, a film.
Or when you're about to create something, or like because you write as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I do. I do. Just look. I just kind of tackle into things that I like, the things that I
Hmm.
want to see made. Um, right now, I'm pretty big on trying to bring biopics to life. I want, so I try to look into things like that, reading books, having my own moments to be by myself, and tapping into what people like myself want to see made. That's part
Mm.
of the process. I would like
Mm-hmm.
to see the Phyllis Hyman story get made. I want to see the Donna Summer biopic get made. You know, things like
Yes.
that. Like as a producer's person, I'm like, these people need to call me. I would love to work on those. Things
Right.
like that. The Carmen Miranda story, you know, telling our stories, telling stories. Sylvester, the artist, the singer,
Okay.
how does it feel? I would love to produce his biopic, you know, things like that.
Wow.
And I try to tap into things like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's a project that you have worked on that you think might have given you the most challenge creatively?
Um, there's many projects that I had that kind of was almost rough. Like the one I recently did the other day. To me, that was rough because it was
Mm-hmm.
more serious, a drama. I had to add pages of dialogue, and then I had to become serious. Usually, I like a little sass, but
Mm-hmm.
no sass, and everything needs to be word for word. That my most recent
Mm-hmm.
last week, that was challenging. For the first time, I was being challenged, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that I needed 10 years ago.
Hmm.
And now I'm being challenged now, finally, and I'm grateful for that. I want to
Mm.
give you the details on that so bad, but I
Look, I
can't give you
want
the
to
details
ask.
of that. Yeah, of that particular one I just did. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So then, how do you balance work and personal? Let me ask you that one first.
Um, when it comes to work, I keep it outside, and when it comes to personal life, I keep it inside. So of course, I've been in a relationship 8 years. No, I'm married to someone that's not in show business. Nothing to
Mm-hmm.
do with show business. Normal, everyday Joe. And that's a great thing because it keeps me balanced. You know what I mean? There's no show business here. Even though I have my office, I have an office here at the house, has all
Mm-hmm.
my, the show business stuff here. But I know
Mm-hmm.
that this is not everything that I am.
Got it.
So at the end of the day, once I'm home from work, the door is closed, shut it all off, come back down, wash those dishes, vacuum that floor, shake those pillows and that's me. But when it's
Hmm.
time for me to become him, I always say it's time to be him. It's time to be him. It's time to dazzle. Go out into the world and you're ready to conquer the world. Once it's a wrap, you're home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I do.
That you, yeah, you keep going. So
Hmm.
you said you've been married 8 years, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
how'd you meet?
Golly, how the heck did I end up with him? Um,
How'd you get
Golly,
hooked?
it must have been when worked at a Comcast, I think was it. I used to go in there, act like my boxers broke, because I like that little half breed. You're kind of cute.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go in there with like, can I fix my thingy? And I could talk your ear off. And I think that's when it started.
Really? I
Yeah.
love it.
I used to go in there acting like at the time I don't even have cable anymore. My cable box broke. Hey, nothing wrong with that cable box. I was just trying to get a conversation.
Yeah.
So it was like hook.
So, pulled it on
Yeah,
in. So, so you keep it balanced, right? You don't
yeah,
let work interfere with home or your
no,
relationship. But
no.
are those times where you do talk at least about some things or an idea that you may have? Do you run them by him
Oh
and
yeah,
see what
all the
they
time. Oh yeah, that a song lyric. Uh,
say?
um, uh, Sometimes help me with the auditions when I have to do like the self tapes. Then this is just strictly just as an actor. He'll read
Hmm.
the lines for me, or he'll do the slates for Yeah, so we do does help me out a great deal when it comes to stuff like that.
Got
Come
it. I
go
love
to the set every once in a blue moon, he'll make an appearance on the set, which is kind of shocking because
it. Hmm.
he doesn't do that.
He does it to surprise you.
Whenever he has the opportunity to, yeah, which is a
That's
joy.
Yeah. Oh, I
So
love
yeah,
it. So, how do you, speaking of balance,
Mhm.
how do you balance your artistic vision with commercial demand? Like, I know sometimes we'll have our vision and we'll have, that idea, and we're thinking of how we want it to end up or what the end result will be, but that commercial demand might require tweaks or changes. So, how do you make sure you don't lose the essence of LJ in what you do?
Oh, well, that's a good question. What I do is, like I said, it goes back to communication. It goes
Mm-hmm.
back to compromising. Sometimes my vision doesn't necessarily always work
Mm-hmm.
for that particular project.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to, I'll make a compromise or a sacrifice and take a mini step down and allow a shared vision. I might not always agree, but sometimes that other version turns out to be what turns out to be the best. And I
Okay.
will be more than happy to accept it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about compromise as long as it doesn't compromise my artistic integrity, but I'm willing to make a change just for the
Okay.
sake of the art form. You know what I mean?
Okay. 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 I had to ask that because even with me, I guess with my knowledge of how
Mhm,
production works and how, the process goes, I'm
mhm,
growing, I'm learning,
mhm, mhm,
but I do see instances where I'll see people who they want this, right? But then they get into the rooms and it's, oh, well, let's change this, let's change that. And then you have the individual who's like, okay, I don't see me anywhere in it, but
mhm,
I need this check, or you know what I'm saying? I have to do it. So I promised I would ask that question to people
mhm.
who've been doing it for a while just so that
Right.
I can and our viewers can understand better too, you know?
Right. Absolutely. And editing is something that I don't tackle because being an editor, oh, that's such a creative art in its own. In its
Mhm.
own. I love watching how the editing process. I have some amazing friends that are just amazing editors. They are
Mhm.
just that's what they do, and I watch them and all, and that's something I haven't really tackled. I mean, I could do little bits, little edits on my phone, but when it comes to like what you guys do, I don't know. That's a ooh,
Yeah, and
I
then you have to
respect
watch it
it.
over and over and over
Yeah,
again.
loop the
Yeah.
voices and God, that's an art in its own form. That's why they have their own category at awards. Best
Well,
editing,
true.
you know,
True.
best sound design. Even I don't I'm not I mean, I have an ear for music, but when
Mhm.
it comes to boom, even though I've done everything on films. They gotta have a specific sound. You can't hear this. Oh, it's just an art form in itself. I
Mm.
respect everybody who's behind the scenes. They're the real
Mhm.
stars. People who work
And
behind the cameras are the stars.
because without them it would not happen,
No, even on the
period.
indie films, I worked on lots of indie films. I'm just now gradually moving towards mainstream now. Um,
Mhm.
but it's just I worked on films when it was just maybe four crew members. It's like, wow, it's just four of you guys. Where is the wow? Where's craft services? You know, no, they everybody does everybody, and I learned that hustle by working on smaller films than trying to do everything yourself, and I still respect that. I
Yeah.
respect that a great deal. Now my sets, and moving forward, I have at least 25 people now. You know, and it's
Mhm.
kind of in moving forward, I'm like, wow, that's whew,
I'll ask, do you identify as gay,
yeah,
queer?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
So, being a gay man
Hmm.
in the industry,
Hmm.
when it comes to opportunities, do you see sometimes, and I'm sure there may be some stories, but do you see
Hmm.
sometimes that it might be harder to break through barriers that one would think wouldn't be there?
Well, I haven't had that obstacle yet because I'm a character actor,
Mhm.
and most of my I play a plethora of different characters. Like I'm Veggie Thug in Great People, and also that's another big
Mm.
success. That's
Yeah.
another great. I didn't produce it. I just acted in it. I'm Veggie Thug in that. I play a comedic thug in it with a heart of gold. I've played the imaginary friend in Great People. I've played a homeless man in one movie. I played a gangster, part of the mob in one movie. I played a police officer. I played a husband with kids. I played gay characters. Most recently, I did a huge film in Los Angeles, which requires some nudity, and I was so for it. I was so for it in showing these butt cheeks. I was ready for that scene because I'm growing as an artist, and I'm not ashamed of that anymore. And as an artist, I'm not going to do anything that's going to compromise my art. I'm going to play roles that would be for any type of actor who's a male.
Mm,
Don't put me in a box because that's why I am an actor. Because I
right.
play parts like I'm doing playing a husband and a father. I don't know if you see my music video. I have a girlfriend, a woman,
You
and
do.
we're, and
Yeah.
we're embracing, and that's a performance piece.
That shower scene though. I was like, "Ugh."
I didn't have any clothes on. The director, I think that was the director's fantasy to see butt cheeks. Because I was it really necessary to be nude? I'm standing like, spin around in the air, I'm trying to be sexy. I'm like, really, it's not that necessary unless you really wanted to capture that. I'm like, "I'm feeling the music through dancing, whatever." But
Yeah.
going back to what you were saying, it's different parts. So I never want a casting director to be like, "Oh, we can't cast you because you're gay." But I'm an actor. You didn't say that before when I played the husband and wife. I had
Right.
a wife. So, and I just feel that any actor, if you're talented enough, you could play any part you want
Any part. Yeah.
and stuff
I
like that.
believe that too.
And if you choose to do LGBT plus films, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. And Romeo and Isabella, I was in that with I don't know if you've seen that one on Tubi, and that was one, I think that one was my first LGBT plus film.
That was your first one.
That was my very first one in the 20 years because I'm
Wow.
embracing it now. And I'm like,
Got it.
why was I in this category for so long until I decided, no, absolutely not. I'm not going to
Mm,
do that because this is who LJ is. LJ is this entertainer, and I'm not going to be hiding anymore. Why?
right. Why?
They didn't have a problem with it yesterday. Now, why would they have a problem today? We're in 2024, you know?
All right. All right. How do you keep motivated when you have the rough days? Like what feeds you and calms you and helps you get into that space of it's gonna be all right.
The What keeps me in that positive space, I always try to stay positive every day.
Mhm.
Sometimes I have my bad days. Oh, when I have my bad days, you better stay away because I don't want to
Mm.
be bothered. I always try to find the positive in everything that I do. When I'm home, I say to myself, hey, there's other people out there that's unfortunate right now.
Mhm.
Um, I need to count my blessings of what I do have and be grateful. That keeps me going. I have a digital fireplace. That cinder, that cracking noise,
There's
that
something
fireplace,
about it.
that relaxes me. And then I said, you know what? I had a bad morning, but you know what? I'm gonna have a good afternoon. I say
Yeah.
that, I keep saying that I'm gonna have a good afternoon, no matter what it is. I'm determined to have a good afternoon.
So Fire Creek, I did read somewhere that, and it's funny, you made me think of it just now when you mentioned fireplaces.
Uh,
So Fire Creek, the name kind of
mhm.
came from your love for fireplaces
Yes. Oh, wait,
and
you
creek.
found that? I probably talked about that a long time ago. Yeah, that's right. I have an obsession with fireplaces, with um the way it looks. It's the romantic part of a
Yeah.
fireplace, and I have a thing for creeks, the water that's like.
Hmm.
And imagine being out in the wilderness and you're like playing in the water with the creeks, and then yeah,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, you hop it on, skip it to your little cabin house, and you put on a fire. That's like fantasy and the stuff that I like. Even when I rent
Yes.
cabins in Tennessee or when I go out on vacations or something, I love it. I just think it's romantic, and I just want people to feel that romance. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that's when it started. I love fireplaces. I love creeks. I just put it together. When I discovered that Fire Creek had a restaurant or in a
Mhm.
casino and a movie, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to take up the ownership because they're after searching and doing my homework, I found out that the Firecreek Entertainment was available. So I claimed my domain, I bought my copyright, and I own the trademark for the Firecreek Entertainment. I own that baby. So
Yes.
oh yeah, I own the brands and the products and the cups and the mugs, and the stickers. But because I love it, I just love that romance, and to me, it's
Yes.
comfort. It's a comfort.
Yes, yes. It
Oh yeah,
sets the tone for intimacy. And ultimately, when you are
absolutely.
creative, you're
Yeah,
being intimate with your audience because they're
that's
getting a
it.
window inside you. So
That's
intimacy.
it. And I'm all about comforting, being
Yeah.
comforting and offering comfort to others. And what you see is what you get. This is all who I am. I'm that guy. So when
Hmm.
I offer comfort, it's the same comfort that I want somebody to put a blanket over me and rub my back and tell me I'm going to be okay when I
Yeah.
feel like crap. And that's that same feeling that I want. I want to pass over the blanket, put it on you, and rub your back and be like, you know what? Here, have a sip of wine. If you don't
Yeah.
drink wine, I'll have a nice cup of hot chamomile tea, and that's gonna, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I love it. Yes. I'm happy we finally made this happen. I've been waiting on
Mhm.
this. That's why I was so determined today.
Absolutely, and I watch the show and I watch the conversations that you have and I was like I would really love to have a conversation. I love talking to people. I do love people. I really do. Even we're in a
Hmm.
world right now and we're so divided and we let the nonsense. I said no. I love to interact with people,
Hmm.
even if it's in this format. I
Hmm.
get a joy out of that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I
You
mean? Some
never know
people
how
out
you
there
might.
might right. You might think some people might think I'm quirky, but you know what? I love me. I really
Yeah.
do. And I love
Yeah.
other people. I love people.
Have you had any mentors along the journey? And what advice would you give to someone who's looking to identify who would be a good fit for them?
Um, Ken Sagos was my mentor, one of my idols from the Freddy movies. I've had Mark Lynch, who's a writer, producer, director based in South Florida, was my
Hmm.
teacher in high school. He was a professional theater producer, came to the high school to recruit students
Hmm.
to do theater, and that's how I got off Broadway. I managed to get to do an off Broadway production in '99, 2000. So that was my mentor. And I had another friend of mine who the best advice he ever gave me was like, don't chase the paper. Don't ever chase the paper because once you start chasing that paper in that way, you're going to hit a brick wall and you
Hmm.
lose your creativity. Remember, contribute the creativity first and then you'll be reimbursed and compensated for your hard work. Don't
Hmm.
do things for a quick dollar because it's not going to last. And my best advice is to always follow your instinct, follow your gut. Because if it smells like crap, looks like crap, feels like crap, at the end of the day, it's going to be crap. And take it from me, I've worked on stuff with people that created nothing but crap.
Hmm.
And I was stuck in the middle because I didn't follow my own gut or my own instinct. I just
Hmm.
did it for the sake of doing it. And now I can't even delete it off IMDb.
You are hilarious
that's
too.
the that's the same nonsense went into the Looking Glass. That movie was a disaster.
So let's get into it then.
Mm,
And I guess the formal question would have been,
mm.
what's a project that did not go as planned, and what's the tea behind it?
The Into Looking Glass was a complete shit show. It ran me over budget because there was no communication, and I think I've made the wrong choice by casting that director.
Hmm.
And they tend people like that, and this is not bashing, but it's the truth. is they rather work on their own materials to glorify themselves, but when it comes to your productions, they want to sabotage. So that
Mm,
was a disaster. I mean, we did all that work just for a trailer. No, I remember deleting it because I wanted it to be erased.
mhm.
And then it popped up because they wanted to glorify themselves. I was like, that's not how you do business. Just because
Right.
you do it, just because you go to film school, doesn't mean you know everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a textbook film producer. Not at all. I
Yeah.
learned how to be a filmmaker in Hollywood, in the streets, in New York, in the streets. That's one. Then I did one that's, God, I did an anti-bullying movie. How are you going to make a movie about bullies and you a bully? You
Right.
know, the director was a big bully. Like, are you writing
Oh,
a
okay.
biopic of yourself? No. And it took 4 years to make. I remember I dropped out of the production a year into it. Even when I dropped out of it, the movie was still being made. It was a complete disaster. Yeah, 500 people in the cast. What is this, a sitcom? It was a mess, a complete mess. I've done productions that you couldn't tell the director nothing. Like, and this is at the point that I'm already going into like my 12th year of doing this, and I'm telling you, I mean, I know I didn't go to film school, but I know that the your rushes are not supposed to look
Mm,
grainy like that, right? I hope you're gonna edit. Couldn't tell them nothing.
mm,
Couldn't tell them nothing. So I've learned a lot from doing disastrous productions like that until
mhm.
being really particular on scripts, jobs, and making sure these movies have budgets and I'm going to actually be paid for these jobs. I tell you, your young filmmakers out there who wants to get into this, in the beginning, yes, take on the little indie films as much as you can to build your reel. But once you have significant amount of reel and you submit it to agents and producers and you ready to take that next step, know your worth. You've done the free stuff, but now know that this is a job, this is a business. Never disrespect the art form. A lot of these filmmakers that are coming up want to do this to get famous and rich and create content. Oh, yeah, 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 because they got it easier than I did. And I'm coming from the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. I
That's
didn't
a
have
good
it
point.
easy. I had to read the newspaper to get jobs. Y'all could
That's a
do YouTube video and become instant success.
true.
I had to really walk the streets and knocking on doors and be like, I'm here to audition with my photo. And I had to stand in front of 8 producers. And I remember going to NBC. Do you know how scary that is? You got like 8 producers
Scary.
looking at you like that. They're giving me the stink eye, like, and you are? I'm like, I'm here to audition. Okay, you and 500. You know, I literally had people, the door slammed on my face. And I had a producer say I was fat. Me fat? 5'9",
Wow.
150? Damn, I'm fat. No, you are. So I often tell these kids, remember why you're doing this. If you're doing
Mhm.
this to get rich, choose another thing, another job, because we were on strike for 188 days. If I wasn't financially secure, I would have been probably no tea, no shade, Billy Porter. I probably would have been selling my house too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Luckily,
True.
I was financially secured already. That's why I always tell you kids, keep your day jobs. Don't
Yeah.
swallow your pride, because pride does not pay the bills. I own 2 houses, and I had to make sure my mortgage on my primary residence is paid. My
Mhm.
inherited home, I make sure that the people that are renting that house are paying the rent, because
Mhm.
that rent is gonna pay my mortgage. Mortgage, I got Fire Creek bills too.
You're right. Right.
Listen to Taraji. She said the math wasn't mathing and she wasn't lying.
Mm. So what do you see happening in Hollywood now as it pertains to and the like stemming from the strike or even with the firing? I think I learned about
Oh
this
yeah.
through you, the firing of all the people with was it Amazon Music or
Yeah. Oh yes, that's right. It was the label, that label, the studio. They were, yeah, Apple. was
Apple.
firing everybody. Yeah, I'm telling you, always make sure you have a backup because tomorrow
Yeah.
is not promised. Your job is not always guaranteed. And I'm with unions. I'm with
Mhm.
work. I'm with a workforce union for day jobs.
Mhm.
Got the union actor unions and I got the guilds and all that fun stuff. That's why we always got to work different jobs because we have these union fees and
Mhm.
property taxes and then I have, of course, Fire Creek has its own separate bills for running a
Mhm.
corporation. You know,
Mhm.
swallow your pride, kids. Swallow your pride because it's called show. You're putting on your show, and then again, it's a business. If you don't know the business, educate yourself on the business. My advice is you don't always have to follow the textbooks. These ridiculous filmmakers, especially in Florida, they want to follow the textbooks, thinking that they know what they're doing. It's like I mean, I'm not the greatest filmmaker. I never claimed to be that. I'm not the greatest singer. I'm not the greatest actor. I sure as hell am not the greatest actor who produce. I'm just still I'm a work in progress and I'm still learning every single day. If I don't
Mhm.
understand something, I'll pick up a book or for you kids, I Google and do my research. Gotta know the
Right.
business. Gotta know the
You
business.
have
Gotta know the
to know the
business.
business. Yep. And it doesn't have to, learning does not have, there's no one way to learn.
No, 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 not at
So,
all.
what have you seen as far as impacts from artificial intelligence in the industry? I have to
Yeah,
ask.
it's a little intimidating because I've seen what it could do, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I've seen them complete films with artificial, the actors who are unable to do it to finish the movies for them, or they use
And
body doubles with the green
yeah,
face and the acting,
yeah.
and they recently did that on a I don't know if I could say this out loud because I don't want to piss them off, and this is a big studio, but they did it with a big known actor who was allegedly sick for a while. But I know the
Hmm.
tea because when I was in LA, man, they were sipping and spilling. They were like, "Girl, did you know about Mr. Man over there? He talking about he in a coma. No, he had an overdose. That's what he had." I was like, he had an OD, so his body double with the AI completed the film for him.
Mm.
Get into it. And I didn't know that this was I think it's safe to say it was from an executive who worked on that movie. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I didn't know that's how it's done. But yeah, like J Lo's vocals are sung by Ashanti. Clearly, we all know that. And it's also now with the AI, you could take.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the YouTube videos. They could take Britney Spears and she's singing TLC, or you have Paula Abdul. I love Paula Abdul, by the way. She's great.
She
Nothing against
is.
Paula Abdul, but you have Paula Abdul singing Celine Dion. There's no way in hell she can sing. She's like Erica, singing "This Day Forever." No, no, no. You tell okay, and I'm a huge Janet Jackson fan, and I love Janet because you can't tell me nothing. Janet is like the best,
I love
but
Janet.
Janet Jackson cannot sing Aretha Franklin songs. You know what I mean? So that's what
Right.
the AI has been doing.
Yes,
I know
yes,
I can't sing Andrea Bocelli songs.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
I can't barely sing Prince. I mean, I'm a singer, but I can't sing. I can't do Purple Rain the way he do. But
Oh
that's
my
what
gosh.
AI is doing.
They have one where Whitney Houston is singing. Oh gosh, I cannot think of what song she was singing,
I
but
know it.
I was I was like, that's not Whit it sounds like Whitney,
Yeah,
but
it is.
it's
It,
wild.
it's
It's
that's what it is, and it's. I know the kids are having fun with it, but they in reality, this is what's going on. Or you have Brandy, who has the most amazing voice. Brandy has that beautiful, thick, that vibrato that we know it's
mhm.
Brandy. She's singing like Celine songs, or she is singing like Aretha and Patti songs, and it's like, whoa, go ahead. And then I realized, whoa, that's I
That's
was getting my afterlife with the YouTube videos because it's fun, but that's
Yeah.
what's going on right now.
Is
And
it hurting us? Is it, I won't say
not
hurt,
yet, not yet.
not yet.
It hasn't. No, I can only speak for myself. I know it hasn't affected me yet, but I think it's coming. It's a coming. And artists are not really recording their records like they used to. And they
Right.
have like I guess they could take like they can go and demo the song so they can layer their voices and then a
Hmm.
computer generated machine finishes it for them. So it's like so you telling me all this time I'm writing, recording, going to multiple I just recently built a small studio here. It took
Hmm.
a long time to do that.
Hmm.
um you telling me that I don't have to I could just send you a recording of myself singing 6 bars, 8 bars of a song and you can finish it with AI? Okay, no wonder J Lo don't really sing.
Oh,
So, telling you, she another one.
you
I'm
are
jumping on.
shaking these tables, baby.
I'm jumping on the bandwagon because I have friends who've worked with her. And it's just been
Yeah.
unkind. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad the
Yeah.
truth is coming out. Sorry, not sorry.
That part. That part. So, will there be, well, it almost feels like, I don't know, if I were an artist, right, and I'm in the industry and I'm putting the work in, and then I see stuff popping up through AI,
Mhm.
I'd feel like, damn, I don't own my voice anymore. Like this was mine and I my gift, and now I don't own it.
I'm glad you said that because now from what I've been told, I don't know if it's 1,000% accurate. I'm not really familiar with it, but word on the street and idle talk amongst us.
Hmm.
There's contracts for that now. There's legalities for it now. There's um agreements about you do half this and you get this percentage and but
Mm,
I don't think you really own that. You're like a singer. You're like a voice for hire. Once you sign off on it, it's no longer yours. It's like selling your car or selling your house. And once you sell it, it's no longer your house anymore. You gave up the deed. That's kind of what it is. It's frightening.
mm, mhm,
And also, Fire Creek has a subsidiary. We have a trade you Fire Music Publishings. That's why I got
mhm,
into publishings because I own my publishing rights to my
mhm.
songs. I've learned this little trick by this one genius named Michael Jackson. After studying Michael Jackson, I learned, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do what Michael Jackson does. I'm going to own my music. And I do own my music.
Mhm.
I lease it to others.
Come on now.
I lease my songs to, when I did the movie Great People, which is the best of the best. I signed on to do the sequel, by the way. I will be shooting that in July.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to reprise the role of Veggie Thug, my beloved Veggie. Um, I licensed the song to the production company, and they used "Feeling the Music" at the end of the film.
Mhm.
And they were gracious enough to ask, and I was more than happy to say, "Yeah, of course, I would love to. If you guys like the song, ask permission." I mean, I'm all
Yeah.
for it. They loved it, and it fit the film, and that's how you do
Yeah.
business.
I love that. Yes. I love that you had the mind to do it,
Oh,
because on the back end it works out. Like you own
yeah.
y- and you get to lease it out and say who can, and
And who
I love
cannot. Yeah, it's all on the push of a button. It's licensing. That's like Fire Creek. People want to use us. Hey, we would like to do in collaborations with Fire
Mhm.
Creek Entertainment. That's where we have meetings. We have to come to an agreement. We have to know percentages. We need to know what it will be my contributions to this production. What is exactly we need to do. That's why when you watch movies, you go to the cinema and you watch a picture and it goes, um, New Line Cinema in association with, you see other production
Mhm.
company names or you go Tyler Perry Productions in association with, I'm the association with. My
Right.
company would be the one under you unless we decide to, Fire Creek Entertainment proudly presents whatever.
Right, right.
And then we would be the top boss. And then with our secondary, that's how we do business. And you got to have the mindset. You just got to know how to present yourself as a businessman. Don't get me
Mm,
wrong. I've been known for dragging people out of production offices for not because of lack of work, it's for the lack of the disrespect.
mm,
You're disrespecting the art form, like back to Into the Looking Glass. I literally once I fulfilled my duties and I paid, even though I was unsatisfied with the job, still paid everybody for their services begrudgingly.
mhm.
Yeah, begrudgingly, but I did my obligations as a professional, paid people that needed to get paid and kept it moving. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's what it is with any other productions that we do. And so
We are gonna get to see some more of Veggie, right? What other projects do you have that are coming up?
I am currently working on a show right now. And also, I just signed on to do a movie. My agent called me and said, "Congratulations, you just booked this film I've been wanting." And I am going to be playing a DJ in a film, a drama. We start shooting in June, and I'm
I
excited.
love
I jumped up and down because I'm still that guy. I'm
it.
so happy to work, especially when
Oh,
you earn the roles. And this is just me as an actor because I'm taking a teeny little break as a producer because it's exhausting to try to do both. So I
mhm,
was focusing on the acting portion of it. I signed on to do the sequel to Great People. That's in August,
uh-huh.
and I get to be
Congratulations.
I get to be there again. And this I am going to tell you guys that for Great People 2, Veggie's going to be a little bit more extra because he
A
was
little more
extra,
extra?
a little bit more extra. He was
Okay.
extra in the first one, which made people laugh. And this movie is critically acclaimed. It's won, God, I think 200 plus awards, and it's still winning. And it's been
That's
released
saying something?
2 years, 3 years ago, and it's still
Yeah,
winning. It's still winning all these all over the world, India, Italy, Japan, all over Asia. And it's played in the theaters, and
that
people
is
like
amazing.
you, that thug with the tattoos all over my face, one here, and then he had one here. He was fun. Veggie was just the lovable thug. Top my head, he had the funny part. He had aluminum foil in his mouth. That was for part one because he was a broke thug. Part two, he got a major upgrade. That's all
Oh,
I'm
okay, he
telling
got
you.
an upgrade.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
that's all I'm giving y'all. But it's an amazing script. When they called and asked if I would like to return as Veggie to reprise that role, does a chicken have a pecker? Are you kidding me? Hell yeah, I want to return to play that role. He was
Oh,
fun. He was fun. He made me smile. And there's other parts that I've got that made me smile. I played imaginary friend, like I mentioned. Made
yeah.
kids happy, especially kids at children's hospitals. I've gotten letters and yeah.
What would you have to say to parents whose kids display that interest in acting or being
Um,
in the industry?
um, Support them the best you can and keep an eye on your children,
Mm-hmm.
especially in this business.
Mm-hmm.
Don't leave your kids out of sight, especially in the big productions. Watch your kids like a hawk. This business is dirty. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I am scared for kids in the business.
Hmm.
If any of kids of mine ask me, Daddy, I want to be in pictures, you're gonna have to wait until you're 18. I'm sorry, and and and
Really?
and and make sure that you know exactly why you want to do it. Why do you want to do
Mm-hmm.
it? Because you see me doing it. That I love it, and I'm going to support you, but I want you to earn it, and I want you to wait a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. This just for me, for my
Mm-hmm. I
portions.
got you.
I started as a dancer, for
Okay,
real.
got it.
I started as a dancer and got my first opening. God, it was in the 90s. I got into Ballet Hispanico, a huge dance school that was next to literally like this with Alvin Ailey. They were almost
Mhm.
competitors. That was a big school, a little brown Puerto Rican from New York, Latino, getting into something like that to me was a big deal. And I'm from the projects,
Yeah.
from the Marlboro projects. Wow, I'm doing something. I mastered the Sanford technique, the Meisner Sanford technique of acting, um,
Explain.
which is more, the method acting is becoming instead of mimicking, because acting is not imitating. Like if anybody says I'm an actor and they still going, oh, you're not an actor, you're a mimic. Don't ever say that to
God.
an actor. You know
So
what I
that's a
mean?
difference.
Yeah, being a mimic, anybody can mimic. It's like me going, why can't you treat me like any stranger on the streets? I'm not acting, I'm mimicking. So, give me that white anger, Christina. Or imitating
Yeah.
Angela, imitating Angela Bassett. Like, oh, oh. You know, you know, I'm mimicking her. So
Right.
stuff like
Right.
that. So I mean, we have fun with it because we live for Angela Bassett now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't tell us nothing. But that's the
But
difference.
to be an actor, you have to
Become it.
basically become it,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh.
try not to take myself too serious, honestly. I just go with the flow and have a good time and remember why I'm doing it. That's why I choose comedies. I choose
Mhm.
comedies because I came from a lot of pain. I've come
Mhm.
from a lot of adversity. I've come from abuse. I've come from being bullied and no, you can't do this. No, you're never gonna make it. No, you're not good enough. No, you're terrible. No, 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 no.
Mhm.
So I kind of harness that pain into something funny.
We've been connected via
Hmm.
Facebook for
Yeah,
some time.
we have. We
Some
sure
time
have.
now.
Yeah. We
And
sure.
I will say I'm happy we have this platform now because
Uh-huh.
to your point before, right? There are people we wouldn't necessarily see or wouldn't see in our day to day. So let's shake it up and start introducing and getting behind them and pushing them up further into our circles, new circles,
Absolutely.
making it happen. We need
Absolutely.
that visibility.
I Social media has its pros and it has its cons.
True.
I've befriended some amazing talent, some big names, some big actors that I've admired that I've corresponded with thanks to the power of social media because they respect the work, they respect your work, and they see what you're contributing.
Hmm.
Um, I've worked with and met. I had the opportunity of becoming friends with her, and she helped. She recommended me for jobs, which is a great networking platform. A famous Madonna impersonator, Denise
Mm,
Bella Villares, who's like one of the big famous Madonna impersonator who's legit. Because we've seen hundreds of Madonna impersonators at the club, but
right.
with this individual, she has been impersonating Madonna since Madonna first came out in 1982, since 83 or something. I think it's safe to say, because I'm friends with actually some of Madonna's former dancers are friends of mine. I don't want to. My girl Denise looks so much better than the real Madonna. It's insane. She is fab. Like she looks like Madonna, like the
Yeah.
youthful, and she's she's older lady. She dancing. She does all Madonna's dance
Yeah.
steps. Yo, and I became friends with her. Big shout outs to Tribute Productions in Los Angeles. It's a massive production company. They do all the
Mm,
tribute shows. They did something with the Soul Train Awards or BET Awards with
mhm.
Tashina Arnold when she hosted with Tisha
Oh
Campbell.
wow.
They
Uh-huh.
dressed them with the costumes, and I connected with her through social media and my girl Denise, who's amazing. She's the one that
Mm,
recommended me for that job for the show. And I
that-
have, Skylar, who is a PR. If you ever need somebody to do marketing PR for you on social media, hit up my girl Skylar. She got you.
all
Maybe you
right.
guys could
That is
interview
something.
each other.
True. You never
Yeah,
know. And the possibilities are
yeah,
endless, especially when you're open and you're open to growing? So,
absolutely. So that's the power of social media. So shout outs to all the creators out there. All like I've seen you grow. I've seen you grow from a little show. Next thing you know, you have a platform, and then I saw the followers and your YouTube, and I'm like, wow. This is this
Yeah.
is this is pretty big.
Uh,
Yeah. Wait
I'm
till the network start calling you. I hope you're ready.
oh gosh. You
Wait
know
till
what?
Fox Soul call you, you know?
That would be a dream. That would be a dream,
And it's gonna
and
happen. It's gonna happen. Open up that door. It's opening.
it's
It's gonna happen.
I love it. I receive it. We receive it.
Yes, indeed.
Is there anything that we did not mention or that you'd want to just put out into the universe?
What I want to put out in the universe is just continuous positivity. It's just
Hmm.
to continue to grow, glow, and dazzle. And I
Grow,
mean that
glow.
with yes. And I want everybody to just be their authentic self. Who
Yes.
cares about trolls? Who cares about the negative comments? Who cares about the BS that's going on in the world? You know what? Go and approach things with an open heart. Approach things with wide eyes. Stay woke out there. Stay positive, show positivity, show love, leave the adversity.
I
That's
love
just
it.
my wish for everybody.
How amazing. How amazing. So I know that viewers can find more information and the films that you've done, upcoming projects and things
Hmm.
like that
Oh
through
yeah, for sure.
Firecreek
Uh,
Entertainment.com.
yeah, you guys can find it through the website. It's you guys can find it through my social medias. I often have links all connected on my Instagram at LJ Ugarte, LJ.Ugarte on Instagram. And all the links to everything I've worked on. I've only just begun, you guys. I haven't even broken the tip of the iceberg yet. um, you guys can find clips on YouTube, IMDb. I'm on Amazon Prime. I'm on Tubi. I'm on Apple TV. I'm on Comcast. I'm on all those streaming platforms. Hopefully, you guys would enjoy what I've done, and I just do it with love, in hopes that you guys will be entertained. You know, that's.
Yes. Well, you heard it here. We had LJ Ugarte with us, Ugarte.
Mhm.
And you can find him on Instagram, lj.ugarte. And if you've not already, take a look at some of his work, films. If you want a good laugh, even if you want a good scare. Some of us are
Mhm.
into horror. I mean, you have
Oh yeah.
a diverse offering of media for us to enjoy. And so thank you for being you. Thank you for being um, open with that eye that you have and bringing us what you've brought us.
Thank you
So,
so much. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to talk to you, and I'm very grateful.
yes, and this won't be your last time because we couldn't
Uh,
get the tea on what you just finished filming, but I want you
yeah,
back to
next
talk
time,
about it.
and definitely, it's a drama slash music slash documentary. It's a combination of everything. It's a feature, it's a musical film, and it's a documentary.
Got it.
A little biopic in it.
Yeah. So we got to talk about that
Oh yeah, it's coming out soon. It'll be out soon.
then. All right. Well, family, again, thanks for joining us for another episode of Black Gay Table Talk. LJ, you're amazing. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
spending this
Thank
time
you.
with us today.
I'm honored. Thank you so much.
What's up? Oh, snap. What's up, guys? What's up?
Mr. Thug, please take a seat.
Why I gotta be a dog for? I'm a kid. You might as well call me the N-word colonizer.
Cause Thug's written on your name tag and you have it tattooed on your arm.
Oh.
Hi. Okay, little Superboy, you need to lay off the bath salts.
Going on up in here? What the fuck?
Chill the fuck out, Parker.
Man, chill out with that shit, yo.